So hey everyone, welcome to today's lab. Today we are going to learn about how do you install Docker onto a CentOS machine. So this is going to be very helpful for you when you're working for an organization and you want to quickly get started working with Docker. It's pretty simple. So I hope you guys are already familiar about creating virtual machines on EC2. So let's go and get started by creating a CentOS virtual machine, and then let's go ahead and install Docker onto it, and let's enable Docker and let's start Docker, and then we will verify it with certain commands, right? It's going to be a pretty short lab, so I'm just going to breeze through it pretty quickly. So let's get started with creating an instance. So click on launch instance. Let's go to the AWS marketplace where we can find CentOS. So let us go ahead and choose the CentOS version 7. So let's go with a little bit bigger configuration machine because Docker generally takes up at least 2 or 3 GB of RAM. So let's go with the T2 large instance with at least 8 GB of RAM, right? So that we get a really good performance. But when you're working for an organization, please do ask your respective administration team as to which specific configuration you can go for, right? Let's configure the instance details. So I would just like only one instance to be launched, and I'm going to use the default VPC, right? I'm sticking to the Northern Virginia region right now. I'm leaving everything the default. Let's go and add some storage. So I'm going to add at least 20 gigs of storage. Let's add tags. I'm just going to call this as my Docker instance. Let's create a security group. Let's ensure that we have access to SSH. So let's choose my IP for the source. I'm going to rename the security group name. Okay, so I've called it as Docker SG. Let's go ahead and review and launch. Let's click on launch. I'm going to use this key pair that I already have. Let's click on launch instances. So previously when we were working with Amazon Linux AMI, right? So we were using the EC2-user as our default username to log in. So right now what we are going to do is we are going to use the CentOS operating system. So therefore for the CentOS operating system, the default username is CentOS. For Ubuntu, the default username is Ubuntu. For any other operating system, such as any Alpine related operating system, it can be admin as the username. So just remember these usernames so that it's pretty easy for you to get started. So let's check whether this instance has come to the running state. Yes, it is in the running state. Let me copy its public IP address and let me go to my terminal. So in my terminal, I do have the key pair already with me in the PEM format. So if you're using Windows, please do use puttygen to convert your PEM to PPK. Or if you can, go ahead and download your PPK file from AWS key pairs from EC2 console itself before getting started with creating an instance, because AWS right now provides you with the opportunity of downloading your key pair in the PPK format also. But if you're using PEM format, then ensure that you're using a Linux operating system. But if you're using a Windows operating system, convert your PEM to PPK using puttygen, and then go ahead and use any SSH tool that you would like Putty or MobiXterm, in order to log into your virtual machine. So I'll probably record a lecture for that a little bit later. So now let's get started connecting to this EC2 instance. So I've specified the username to be CentOS. It's SSH, which we are the command that we are using. This is a public IP of that instance, and this is my key pair file. Let me click on enter. So I would like to acknowledge. So now we are within the CentOS machine. Let's elevate our privileges to super user in order to install packages. But if you want to install Docker only for this particular user, then you can go ahead and install Docker only for this user. But Docker generally needs administrative privileges in order to run. So we will elevate our privileges to super user, and let's start executing certain commands. So these are the commands that you'll have to, the packages that you'll have to install using the yum install command, and in order to get started with Docker. So let's go ahead and install these packages. So let's give me an acknowledge as yes. One more acknowledgement. Okay, so once these three packages have been installed, the next step is to add the Docker CE repo. I may be wrong with the syntax, but then you have to add the repo by using the yum config manager command. And then you have to specify the endpoint URL for the Docker CE-repo file. So the repo is right now saved to the etc yum.repos.d. Now let's do a yum update -y command to update the operating system. So this is going to take a little bit of time. But probably when I scroll to the top, let me see if it was able to grab Docker. So you can see over here, it has got the information regarding the Docker CE stable, right? So it has not yet still installed Docker, but then it has checked the repository and it has got the repository. So there are around 216 packages that are yet to be installed. So just wait until all of these packages are installed. So to be frank, I'm not a person who does a lot of editing. So I mean, I can't speed up this video. I'm not even going to spend that time doing the editing to speed up this video. So I'm just going to sit patiently and wait until all of the packages have been updated. So with Amazon Linux AMI, the easiest way to install Docker is to just type yum install Docker. And for Amazon Linux AMI, it works like a charm. But this is something that you would do when you're working with CentOS. There are only 3 commands that you need to do in order to install Docker. So look at the resources section for all the 3 commands that you have to execute. So the 3 commands may change based on which distro you're using, whether it's CentOS or Ubuntu or Amazon Linux AMI. And even sometimes even the repo URL may change when you're working with Docker for getting the Docker ce.repo file. So please do check the Docker documents before going ahead and installing. Yeah. So right now I think 216 packages have been completed. Now let's go ahead and start installing Docker. Okay, so now all of the packages have been installed. Let's go ahead and install Docker. So you need to install all of these 3 packages, Docker-ce, which means it's going to take the latest version of Docker, the CLI for Docker Community Edition, as well as containerd.io. It's going to ask for confirmation. So right now you can see over here, it has taken the latest version of Docker, which is 19.03.9. So once Docker has been installed, there are 2 commands that we'll have to execute in order to start Docker, and also enable Docker through restarts of the virtual machine. So right now it's installing the Docker CE CLI, and then it's installing Docker. Awesome. So now the commands that we'll have to do in order to start Docker is systemctl start Docker. And to enable Docker through restarts of the virtual machine, we'll have to input systemctl enable Docker. And now we can just check the status of Docker, whether it's running or not, using the systemctl status Docker. So you can see Docker is active and it's running right now. So let's try some Docker commands. Docker info is the command that gives you details regarding the client and the server. So let's do Docker ps. So this is to list all of your running containers. Docker images is to list all of your Docker images that you have in your local cache. Okay, cool. So therefore, we have installed Docker and it's working pretty fine right now. So thanks a lot for looking at this session. Please go on and look at the microservices section with Docker, wherein we talk about more details regarding, what are the features that Docker provides us with, and how do you containerize and microservice application into a Docker image, and then how do you run it in AWS ECS clusters. Right? So thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye.